Hello, my name is Richard Ding, and this is my presentation for the final project of CSCI E-59, designing and developing relational and NoSQL databases. So, for my final project, I want to create a weather database that can hold historical weather data about a certain location. The database that I will be using is MongoDB, mainly because the data source that I am gathering the data from returns it in the JSON format. And MongoDB is a NoSQL database that is extremely well qualified to handling multiple documents in said JSON format. I will be using Python to run these API calls to get the historical weather data, and then parsing that data and sending each individual documents to a MongoDB Atlas database. So the weather data will be coming from this website called weatherstack.com in the JSON format. I will be using Python to parse these return data into individual documents and uploading them into MongoDB Atlas. And the final, each individual document in the MongoDB Atlas has this sort of schema. You can see here that there is a location name, the coordinates of the location, the date in string format, as well as an array called weather that contains all relevant weather data. Each individual document contains the weather data of a certain location at this particular time point. Notice that historical weather data was recorded in intervals of every 3 hours. So you will see that the hour here will be either 0 for midnight, 3 for 3 a.m., 6 for 6 a.m., etc., etc. So on this database, I will be performing multiple queries such as filters and aggregations over weather metrics. Currently, this Mongo database has about 43,000 individual documents within it because it contains weather data on every single day from January 1st, 2015 to December 31st, 2019 that's gathered every 3 hours. And the data covers 3 different locations, Tokyo, New York, and Paris. Here is MongoDB Compass, and here you can see this is my cluster name, E-59, my database called Weather Data, and the collection called Historical Weather. In here, I can perform filters as well as aggregations on this data to get certain results. Let's go over some aggregations now. The first aggregation is to find the number of times that the temperature was greater than 75 degrees Fahrenheit in New York between January 1st, 2015 and December 31st, 2019. And to do this, I simply have to do a simple filter query on the database to get a result, 1.8 thousand times. The next query is to find the average temperature for the month of May in each of the 3 locations, New York, Tokyo, and Paris. This was done with an aggregation query as shown below. Here it is in MongoDB. I first convert the date string into an actual date variable, and then I parse the date variable to get the month of the date and filter on that month, so the month of May. Finally, I perform a group aggregation on the location name and to get the average weather temperature, and this is the result. See that Tokyo has an average of 68.6 degrees Fahrenheit, while Paris has an average of 57.98 degrees Fahrenheit. Thank you for listening to my presentation of my weather database.